welcome to my channel, Key of Life, and today I wanted to talk about what is going to be my 1-year anniversary after quitting my job. I actually quit in July of 2023. I know it's June, but it's whatever, it's about to be a year. And I just wanted to talk about the journey here and like what it has this look like now that I did something extremely risky, and what now? Let me dive into more of my background, and then we're gonna lead into like my career and so on. I originally went to college. I went to Purdue Northwest, which is in Hammond, Indiana. And it's more of a smaller campus of Purdue. They're still related, you know. And my major was business administration. Now, the whole idea of business administration at the time was like, I want to make my own business. So let me go to college to learn how that is done. Later on, I found out business school was going to be more of a corporate like skill, that like if you went to business school, you're using that in like a corporate sense. And that's what I thought it was, like in an entrepreneurial sense, but entrepreneurship is completely different. And I only attended for a week. What made me immediately change is I went to a literature class or something, and the teacher, you know, said, oh, we had to get this textbook. And I went to the library to see the cost of the textbook, and it was $300. And I'm like, and it was a used textbook at $300. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing this, because how much more are y'all gonna ask for? Like a book, $300, plus these classes and the tuition. I forgot what the tuition was, but like y'all are tripping. So I was done at that point. They tried to bill me, but I talked to the dean, and I got that completely thrown out because I quit the first week, and that means I don't have to pay. After that, I just decided to work a job because I needed to do something. I just couldn't, you know, quit college and not do anything. So I started working at UPS as a package handler. And for one, I just didn't like it. Like, it just felt like slavery, underpaid slavery, UPS. So it was like $10 an hour. And I'm like, this is not like, even, okay, I'm fresh out of high school. So, you know, $10 an hour, okay. You see $400 checks, okay, $300 checks. To me, that just wasn't enough. And then on top of that, like I was just seeing some of the older individuals in there talking about they've been a package handler for 30 years. And I'm like, huh? I actually quit and stormed out because I got into it with a manager. She had the stankiest attitude, and she was talking to people like sideways because she had a manager position where she was making $15 an hour. I'm like, girl, you made $5 extra, okay, stop it. And I got into it with her, and I laughed like, no. And then I had a second job. I was working at a nursing home, and I was a dishwasher, and I enjoyed the residents. They were nice, but I didn't like the treatment of both the residents and me. Sorry, my camera ran out of storage. I had to switch the cards. Anyways, this woman had dementia, so she didn't know where her room was, even though she had a key that said where her room is. And I asked one of the CNAs, hey, one of the residents, she's lost. She doesn't know where her room is. And they're like, she can find out. I'm like, you ignorant, raggedy. That's just so evil. Like, that could be your grandmother, and you're sitting up here treating her like that. So I ended up putting, you know, all of my, the what's it called? The little tub where you put the dirty stuff. I just put it down, and I walked her to her room. I took off her shoes and stuff. But I'm like, y'all are ignorant, okay? I get that y'all here for a paycheck, but you can't just treat people inhumanely. And I'm not sure if I quit or was I fired. I don't know. All I know is I didn't come back. I just didn't feel like it, because honestly, these people were rude. The chef, the head chef, he was rude, smoking and touching shit, eating all the time. I'm like, dude, After that, I immediately enrolled myself into a vocational program where I learned some technical skills, and it was just a year long. And after that, and it was an internship in between this program. So I was doing an internship with a corporate partner. So I'm 18, 19, and this is the start of my corporate career. So I started doing software and application testing, and that was my start of my career as a software tester. So I have been doing that for almost 7 years. There was a few jobs in between there where it wasn't strictly QA. There was like a few things that I was doing there, but most of my job history has been like QA, like I would say 85% of my career. There was a few times in like this journey of how I quit my job where I got to this point. So in 2019, I actually experienced burnout. I was really sick and tired of the rat race. I actually had quit a job at University of Chicago. I don't even put them on my resume, to be honest. I think it would be impressive if I did, but I never put them on my resume because the way they treated me, I quit that job as well. I've quit a lot of jobs because when I'm done and over with it, I am done and over with it. So it's not my first rodeo with quitting a job. I had like a lump on the side of my breast, and I had went to a doctor to get a mammogram, and I had been waiting for a call. And finally, one of the doctors or nurse's assistants or somebody called me and told me the results. Thank goodness I did not have anything. But when I tell you the call only lasted under 30 seconds, literally wasn't even 30 seconds. It was just giving me the results and I'm saying thank you, like thank you, no problem. That was it. I step away from my desk because you can't be next to the desk with your personal with your phone, because we have access to people's personal information. So I locked my computer and I took the call, and then I came back to myself. This little nosy man, he gonna sit up here and go tattle on me talking about I took a call, I took a break. What would be the difference of me getting up to blow my nose or me throwing something in the trash? I took a call that was less than 30 seconds and you went to go tell. And I was like, okay. And they brought me into a room and they were talking to me, and I just told them, you know what, never mind, I'm done. I'm good on this because my health is priority. No job is above my health. And if I'm being penalized for caring about my health, and I'm prioritizing a job, you got the game twisted. And I said that right in front of the man who tattled. Like, you got the game twisted. I'm gonna care about my health over a job. So I quit, and I did not work for about 2 months because I didn't feel like it. I think I had like 2 job offers, but I declined because I really didn't want to work. And then I was ready to, like, you know, get back to it because I got bills. I had moved into my first apartment too. So I'm like, okay, I got bills. Let's get back into the zone. I had my 2-month off period. Let's do this. So I finally got another job. I got bored of that too. So I interviewed, I think I worked there for about like 7 months, maybe 8 months, I can't remember. And I interviewed for a new job while I was on break. I was like, let me take this call. I went into one of those rooms, I did an interview, and I ended up getting the job, and I quit that job. I'm the queen of quitting jobs, okay? If it's not for me, I'm not gonna stay long. One thing about me is I like change. So I think I've definitely exemplified the risk-taking factor. So that job that I ended up taking, I worked there for about 4 years, and something traumatic happened to me, and I just lost a lot of energy. I lost a lot of motivation to just live, to move on. Like, it was a really dark time for me, and I just wanted time off. So I ended up taking a medical leave of absence. And during that time, I just felt like it was a lot of stuff that I needed to unpack. And the time that I was going on that medical leave, it just didn't really solve everything. But it was definitely a well-needed break that I need. Now, during the time of my employment there, I had always taken vacations. Like, I'm traveling to the UK, to Portugal, to France, and I'm enjoying that. And that I was thankful to have a job where I'm able to pay and experience a life like this. But there's more to life. And I needed to step out of a life that I had made comfortable for myself. Working a corporate job was something that I did want a long time ago. It was to get away from the entertainment industry, the fashion industry as well. But now I had grown annoyed of the typical every single day rat race. It was boring me. I had become so comfortable that, of course, I could pay bills, but I was waking up irritated to get on stand-up calls. It was so boring. So I had to make the conscious decision to quit. And this time I was not trying to work another job. I needed a break from working. I just want to dedicate more time to myself because I had dedicated so much time to a company. And you know, the last employer I had, they were awesome. Honestly, if I were to ever say I want to go back to work, I would definitely go back to them because they were not the problem. It's just the ways of the world. It's just that was getting to me. What happened after I quit? So I'm gonna do audio right here because I messed up what I was saying while I was filming. So I just wanted to make it really concise and to the point. So of course I was doing well after quitting. I was just saving money, doing little gigs and here and there. Then my car got stolen and that threw me off so bad. And I just had no way to I had to redesign the way that I was going to now make money because using my car was my source of money, right? I moved out of my apartment, I think January my lease was up. I ended up moving in with family and friends, and then eventually, as I'm moving forward, I'm getting back to my rhythm of what I was intended to do. And of course, you've all seen me buy my mobile home, so I'm getting ready to move out of state and take my mobile home. I'm going to be redesigning the whole thing, so I'm staying on task. And I have my small business called The Butter Spread, and it's a skincare brand. It's a homeopathic skincare brand, and I'm working on that as well. So I'm getting back to the rhythm and beats where I originally thought I was going to be doing, but everything changes. None of it is giving I regret it. Honestly, I'm actually happy that I'm not somewhere breaking down. I am not breaking down somewhere talking about, oh my God, it's falling apart. No, I knew what the outcome was taking this risk. It wasn't like I was shocked or delusional in a way. Yes, I'm partially delusional. If you are an entrepreneur, you have to have some level of delusion because you are running off of risk and you're taking a chance. So you have to be delusional. So I do have that delulu factor. But I was realistic when I said that I am going to have to be uncomfortable. I used to tell people I'm gonna have to get uncomfortable to get comfortable again, because I have to now readjust a life that I built for myself off of a corporate job, something that was smooth and steady. I was getting benefits, I was getting PTO. I had come acclimated with a certain lifestyle, and now I'm unhappy with my lifestyle because I can have things with ease, but at what cost? I don't get to do the things that I really want to do. I wanted to pursue things in my own way. And I just feel like when a lot of people doubt their abilities, or they say they can't, or, you know, use a lot of like downer words, or maybe, possibly, I don't know. Like, you're already setting yourself up to not be as great as you can be. You have a lot more agency over your life than you think. No one gets to run your life but you. You're saying that I can't do this because of that. Well, why do you think that? Because you're worried about different factors that you're choosing to fall in for. Your life is your own. You really cannot really be hell-bent on what other people are talking about. What other people got going on really shouldn't concern you. If they feel doubt in you, let them feel doubt in you. You will only conquer and win when you really go against what they're trying to put out and put on you. And you have to keep a positive mindset. Now, it can be a bit of a struggle if you don't have the delusional mindset. And I mean that in the best way, of course, but you have to have some level of delusion in order to really get what you want. It has to sound irrational to an average thinker. You see, I want to leave a legacy, some type of impact. I hope to get to an old age where I have children, I have grandchildren, and I had my life before me. And if I have been come to a moment where I'm able to pass slowly until I transition, I want to be able to look back and be like, man, I did everything I said I was gonna do. Or I tried and that didn't work out, but I reworked my way around and I'm still fulfilled in my life. I hope to get to that moment. I pray to get to that moment. I don't ever want to be at that moment on the bed and look back at my life and be like, oh my goodness, why didn't I do that? Man, I'm regretful. Why didn't I take that vacation? Why didn't I start that business? Why didn't I spend time with that person? That to me would be more hurtful because I let myself down. I let myself, you know, not try. And we only get this one life. And I think a lot of times we take it for granted because we're living by someone else's rules. From the moment we could enter into kindergarten or first grade, we had a set established rule. This was the institution that taught us how to be workers. This is what built our grounds for being able to understand the patterns. You get up in the morning and you go to work, your school, and at the same time your parents go, right? And you do these assignments and your assignments have to be completed. Those are your deliverables. You have to get them completed on time. And if you don't, there are repercussions and your grade will go lower, your credit score. And if you don't get your credit score up, then you lose out on a lot of opportunities. And I don't want to spend my time in life focusing on a system that I knew that it was set for a reason. And I'm not saying everybody needs to be an entrepreneur. Everybody's not cut out to be an entrepreneur. Everybody's not cut out to be a worker. I mean, there are just certain personality types that people just don't mesh well with. Some people need tasks. Others are just more free-flowing and creative and want to just do things at their own accord. And both sides are amazing. So I will never down anybody who has a job. We need workers in every industry. Everyone's a job is appreciated because without you, you know, a lot of things wouldn't function. But I say this in a way where I'm not trying to down anyone, but it's more of like, if you know for a fact that there's something in you that is burning and you have a desire for it to change your life, you're gonna have to learn how to adapt. But if you're not able to adapt, maybe it's just not meant for you. And that could be true for a lot of individuals. If you're not able to adapt or go through those trying times in a way where you're positive or you're standing firm in it and not like constantly like disagreeing with yourself about your choice, you know, maybe it's not for you and you should try to adapt, you know, in the area that you are, the area that you are comfortable in, but making it more on your terms. And I want more people to understand that about themselves. I don't want people to constantly think that, you know, our infrastructures, like our government, you know, these employers, that they hold rule over us in our decision, our livelihoods. We have to hold rule over ourselves. You have to care about yourself a little bit more. If you are depending on corporations that will, you know, if you pass away, they'll replace you in a heartbeat. Like, you really have to prioritize yourself. You are here for a moment. Make your moment. And that's why I had to quit my job, because that was not my moment. It was really stressing me out. It was really making me tired. I felt like I wasn't doing the best that I could do, because I was just getting tired of it. And of course, the inclusion of personal issues that were going on at that time mentally for me, with on top of that burnout from work, I just was like, nah, you know, this is not what I want my life to look like. That is it. That is my whole outlook on life after my 1-year anniversary, after quitting my job. I appreciate you all watching, and stay tuned for my upcoming video on my mobile home. Exciting stuff coming up. And if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's gonna be an exciting project. All right, thank you so much. Bye. I sound like a Disney character. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.